Don't take anything personally.
The stumbling stone is our pride.
Forget the self, and you will fear nothing.
If you no longer have self-importance, you only have feelings.
Man truly exists, only in the struggle for his own limits.
You have escaped a lot of trouble, but not yourself yet.
The more superhuman we become, the more inhuman we are.
Selfless acts are the stars of the earth.
What we call I is just a cluster of sensations, alive and independent.
If you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem.
Without self-importance, we are invulnerable.
Bad habits are like rotten teeth, they have to be removed.
Life begins at the end of your comfort zone.
Your true self is what you are, not what others have made of you.
No one suffers without his consent.
An eye for an eye makes the world blind.
Fret about your limits, and they will surely belong to you.
Who does not learn, suffers.
Men are for the most part too busy with themselves to be bad.
Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice.
If I am a slave to pleasure, I will also be a slave to suffering.
To err and not correct the mistake is truly to err.
Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent.
One must be a saint to pass unscathed through praises.
First charity begins with myself.
Here is my story, my passions made me live, my passions killed me.
Whoever doesn't discover the reason for his mistakes deserves to repeat them.
Selfishness is insisting that others live as you see fit.
The ego claims to need many things, but I know it's a trap.
Evil is not what enters a man's mouth, evil is what comes out of it.
The value of a man is inversely proportional to the importance he gives to himself.
The optimist sees opportunity in every danger, the pessimist sees danger in every opportunity.
He who is too pleased with himself will always be less pleasing to others.
Our worst enemies, and those we must fight most of all, are within.
The best thing is not to give up pleasures, but to own them without being enslaved by them.
So slight, so small a thing, is that which can cast down or uplift the spirit of one who aspires to be applauded.
What destroys personal importance is understanding that the world is just our interpretation.
The slave only has one master, the ambitious person has as many, as there are people useful to his fortune.
We are all prone to live in a sort of limbo, where nothing matters except petty, immediate personal gratifications.
The only thing that matters is recognizing that we are neither more nor less important than any other being in the world.
When you harm others, you chain yourself. But if you harm no one, you can freely do what you want.
Limits are rightly unacceptable. What pleasure is there in living, knowing that we are unlucky, frail in health, and, moreover, a bit of a losers?
It takes all the time and all the energy to overcome the idiocy that is within us, and that's what matters. The rest is unimportant.
The greatest limitation of human beings is that they remain glued to the inventory of reason. Reason does not study men as a being of energy.
As children, we are taught that man is the only creature aware of himself. As adults, we discover that man is the creature that is only aware of himself.
The world of indulgence is empty because indulgence cuts out everything except indulgence itself. The world becomes boring and repetitive.
Do not indulge in the sensation of tiredness. More than tiredness, what you feel is the desire to not be disturbed. You resent being annoyed. But it is essential that you exacerbate this aspect until you destroy it.
Self-pity, personal importance, lack of purpose, uncontrolled ambition, unexamined sensuality, shame, cowardice, the list of enemies trying to stop our flight towards freedom is endless, and we must be relentless in our fight against them.
Pride is a hydra with 1,000 heads. Even if you cut one off, 10 others sprout. The only solution is not to react. You cannot feel offended if a rhinoceros runs towards you. You simply step aside and let it pass. The one who does not react wins.
Our self-importance is our greatest enemy. Think about it. What weakens us is feeling offended by the deeds and misdeeds of our fellow men. Our self-importance requires that we spend most of our lives offended by someone.